What's up, beautiful people? My name is Bre Bre. If you are new here, hello, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you again for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Today is October, and y'all know what that means. Blackoween-a-thon. I am so excited to do Blackoween-a-thon this year. Last year, I had a lot of fun. It was my first time doing it last year, so this is year 2, and I look forward to it every single year. So I don't know about you guys, but I hold on to books all year just for Blackoween-a-thon, and so this year is no different. I have my list of books that I will be reading for each prompt. So I apologize for the outside noise, but this is my second time recording this, so I want to get it up and done today. So I apologize if you guys hear a lawnmower there. So first things first is that I'm not going to go over the rules or how Blackoween-a-thon, just very brief, because Bre's video, one, I don't want to mess anything up, and two, Bre's video does a really good job about breaking down Blackoween-a-thon. But essentially Blackoween-a-thon is a town or a parish, which are like a city. It is called Toulas Parish this year. First of all, that name is beautiful. I love the connections that she made. There was a lot of thought in the names and the prompts and all of those things. Within Toulas Parish, there are 6 locations. Each location has 6 prompts. Each location has 1 prompt that is a free space. So that's something to keep in mind. Of course, we are reading Black authors who are under the umbrella of true crime. So true crime umbrella. So true crime, mystery, thriller, horror, within those genres, right? So written by a Black author with hopefully Black characters. This year, with each prompt, if you don't do all 6 prompts, then you have to roll a dice. And I don't own a dice, so I'm going to do a dice on my phone. Within those 6 locations, you pick your location and you pick your role that you want. There are 3 roles that are associated with how many prompts you want to choose from each location. So there is amateur, which is 1 to 2 prompts, detective bon ton, which is 3 to 4, and investigator thorough, which is 5 to 6. Again, each location has a free space, so I will be doing 5 prompts from each space. The whole point of this is not to complete all 6 locations this year. I will be doing 3 locations and doing investigator thorough for each location, which is going to be my 5 prompts. Again, I'm choosing 3 locations with 5 prompts each, so I can get investigator thorough, and then I would master that location and be able to cross that off my list for next year. I hope that makes sense. So that's where my mindset is. Now let's get into the dice. I have a virtual dice that I will be using because I don't own a die. So the locations that I'm choosing is Joe's Library, Laissez-Faire, and Ruby's Crew. Each location does have a group read. Brandy from Books with Brandy Shanae and I are hosting the group read, which is The Dark Place by Brittany S. Lewis. More on that when we do our live discussion. First one that I'm going to work on is Joe's Library. Okay, I'm just going to roll my die. And it was on prompt number 1. Prompt number 1 for Joe's Library is historic reference. For that, I chose the Gilda stories, which is vampire theme set in the 1850s in Louisiana. It says Gilda escapes slavery and learns about freedom while working in a brothel. After being initiated into eternal life as one who shares blood by 2 other women here, Gilda spends the next 200 years searching for a place to call home, an instant lesbian classic when it was first published in 1991. So this not only is set in the 1850s, but I'm here for the LGBTQIA rep as well. And here, this is going to be a fun time. I found out about this book earlier this summer and immediately bought it right after. Roll my dice again. What is that? 2. So the second prompt is going to be mystery books set in the 70s. For this one, I chose Crook Manifesto. is the Ray Carney. This is book 2 of the Ray Carney series. It says that Southern's 1970 New York has it all its glory. It's 1971. Trash piles up on the street. Crime is on an all-time high, and the city is careening towards bankruptcy. And a shooting war has broken out between an NYPD and Black Liberation Army. Amidst the collective nervous breakdown, furniture store owner and ex-Vince Ray Carney tries to keep his head down, and his business is thriving. His days of stolen goods around the city are over. So I chose this one. It's crime, mystery, historical. And so those are the genres that I found online. All right, so if I don't roll the die for published by a Black man, which is what I was hoping to get, so I can read this one first, then I will re-roll, which you only get one re-roll. So I might end up having to do that, but let's re-roll again. 2, I already got 2. Let's re-roll. 4, let's see. Yep, 4. Okay, book published by a Black man. This is going to be the first book in the Ray Carney series by Colson Whitehead. This is Harlem Shuffle. I have Crook Manifesto. I just don't know where it's at. I think I actually gave it to someone, honestly. To his customers, and Ray Carney was only slightly bent when it came to being crooked. To his customers and neighbors on 125th Street, Ray Carney is upstanding salesman, reasonably priced furniture, making a decent life for himself and his family. He and his wife Elizabeth are expecting their second child, and if their parents on Sugar Row don't approve of him, or their cramped apartment across from the subway tracks is still home. Few people know that he descends from a long line of hoods and crooks, and that his facade of normalcy has more than a few cracks in it, cracks that are getting bigger and bigger. Cash is tight, especially with all those installment plan sofas, so if his cousin Freddie occasionally drops by with an odd ring or necklace, Ray doesn't ask where it comes from. He knows a discreet jeweler downtown who doesn't ask any questions either. Is associated with a crew who plans to rob a hotel. So it looks like he falls in with the wrong crew and things start to spiral from there. And I'm looking forward to that. So that is 3 books. So let's go ahead and roll our die again. Number 3. Number 3, mystery book set in the 2000s. For this, I chose Joplin Ghost. I do not own a physical copy of this, but I'll go ahead and put a picture here. For Joplin Ghost, it says, when Phoenix Smalls was 10, she nearly died at her parents' jazz club when she was crushed by a turn-of-the-table century piano. Now 24, Phoenix is launching a career as an R&B singer, and she is living out her dream. Dreams and seems destined for fame and fortune. But a chance to visit a historic site in St. Louis ignites her series of bizarre, erratic encounters with spirits who may be the king of ragtime, Scott Joplin. This one is written by Tanana Reeve. This is a musical element, so this will work for that prompt as well. But it looks like a child named Phoenix who was 10 almost died at her parents' jazz club. She then takes a tour on some type of historic building, some type of historic site or some type of historic building where a spirit kind of attaches itself, which the spirit is a former musician as well. And the spirit is channeling through Joplin, or channeling through Phoenix, and so this does also work for the musical theme as well. This 4. Let's roll again. Okay, so prompt number 5 is a book with a musical element. I'm going to choose Joplin House for this as well. I think that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is my 5 prompts that I'm going to choose for this. Let's go ahead and move on to Ruby's Crew. Now I have some great reads for Ruby's Crew, and I hope I get all of, I might do all 5 or all 6. I don't know. Let's see. Let's play the dice first. Okay, so the first one is going to be number 3. And let me see. So number 3 is a book set in summer or spring. For this, I chose Conjure Island. This is by Eden Royce. I loved Root Magic by Eden Royce, which is also something that you can use Ruby's Crew Park. Not only for that, but there is a Root Magic prompt that will be perfect for it. Conjure Island is a new book that was released this year by Eden, but her mother passes away and her dad is often deployed, and she was living with her grandmother, and her grandmother became ill, and so now she is moving with her great grandmother, who she's never heard anything about. So she's a complete stranger to her. She didn't even know she existed. But Nana Rose runs a school for root magic off South Carolina coast. When Nana Rose starts talking about school she runs dedicated to the family's tradition called Conjure Magic, Dell knows that she's in for a weird, awkward summer. That is until the magic turns out to be real. Soon, Dell is surrounded by teachers who call themselves witches, kids with strange abilities, creatures, and ghosts who can speak to her. She has hundreds of questions, but more than any other, why didn't Grandma ever tell her about her family, the island, and the magic? Dell sets out to find her place in the world she never knew existed. She also discovers a shadowy presence on the island and comes to believe that it might be connected. So I think this is a great prompt for 1, root magic prompt, and 2, for set in the spring or summer. So I will be reading this. I loved Root Magic. It was such a good book, and I look forward to reading more from Eden Royce. So let's roll our dice again. Number 1, for prompt number 1 is going to be Strong Friendship. For this, I chose Hide and Seeker. This is by Daka Herman. I hope I'm pronouncing her first name correctly, but it looks like this. First of all, can we get with the creepy background and the eerie scene? Look at her with her eyes open. Okay, so this one, it says, Justin knows something is wrong with his best friends. Z went missing for a year, and when he came back, he was different. Nobody knows what happened to him. At Z's welcome home party, Justin and the neighborhood crew play hide and seek, but it goes wrong, very wrong. One by one, everyone who starts to play starts to disappear, pulled into a nightmare. Justin and his friends realize this horrible place where Z has been trapped. All they can do is hide from the seeker. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I also have their newest book that was just published as well. So that's going to be that one. Let's roll the die again. Focus. 4. What is 4? A Book with a Secret. For this, I chose Yummy by G. Neri. Let me go ahead and pull up the synopsis. I actually read this book yesterday, and I cried half the book, and it just is really heartfelt. It is about a boy who the odds are against him, and this is why I promote parents getting the help that they need, because everybody failed him. Everybody failed him. Dad was in jail. Mom was an addict and lost custody of her kids. The kids then went to grandma's house, and grandma had way too many kids that she wasn't able to take care of. She had like 20 kids in the house, and no one knew what he was doing, but he was just trying to survive, right? And so he hooked up with some friends that he shouldn't have hooked up with, and it ruined his life. This book was hard to read. It was really hard. It's a graphic novel, and it is under true crime. So young adult comic, teen, true crime. And it just is heartfelt. Like, I can't even. I relate so much, because all it takes is one incident for you to mess up your entire life. Being in and out of juvie. I've had that life. Like, I'm so glad that I had someone who just like kind of grasped me before I got too far into it. So this is Yummy, The Last Days of Southside Story, and it is a graphic novel, but beware when you go into it. It is, it's sad. It's super sad, and the odds are against him. But again, This is why I truly promote adults taking care of themselves. All it takes, one person, right? You slip through the cracks of the system and find yourself in the system, and it just, yeah. Whew, okay, let's roll the die again. All right, let's roll the die again. What is that? 6. 6. Free space. You know, for my free space, I'm going to choose Dr. Herman. This is their newest book. It says Tag Your It Nightmare King. So I love how she puts a twist on our childhood favorite games, tag and hide and seek, and makes it into something so scary and creepy for kids, because it can be. First of all, how many, I don't know about y'all, but I've broke my wrist playing hide and seek. I can't tell you how many scrapes, bruises, and stitches I've had over Tag Your It. I can't even tell you. I need one more, so let's roll the dice again. What is that? 2? Okay, so for 2, I'm going to double up on this prompt and use Conjure Island for this as well. And I think that puts me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that puts me at 5. Now, because I might as well, see, this is why I knew I was going to do all 6, but there is no way that I'm not reading Eden Everdark this year. I'm sorry. For Blackoween-a-thon, this book was so good last year. I really, really enjoyed it. This is by Karen Strong. Eden's mother passes away and she goes to, what is the island called? Safina Island, which is her ancestor home. Now, when she gets to Safina Island, she notices her mother's scrapbook, which her mother was a very good artist, and she notices her scrapbook full of creepy, eerie homes, cats, and a person. And she follows a stray cat. She follows a stray cat into Eden's Everdark. I am choosing this one for The Infected because within the story, she also starts to turn gray and starts to become lifeless. And so I'm going to use that as one that gets infected. But I knew I should have just chose all 6. We did all of that dice for what? Because I chose all 6. Okay, but there's no way I'm not going to read. So the next one is going to be Laissez-Faire. Now, the group read for this is going to be The Dark Place by Brittany S. Lewis. I love The Undead Truth of Us by Brittany S. Lewis that I read last year. The feedback with her last book is that a lot of people read it on a surface level, and it very much is a book that you kind of had to dive deeper to understand what the author is implying rather than what they're actually saying. And so you know, people were expecting zombies, but it wasn't about zombies. There was a deeper, more underlining thing that they were talking about, and I don't want to spoil it. So The Dark Place will be the group read. I'm not going to roll the dice for this because I am reading all 6, and so I will tell you what I'm reading for each prompt. So for the unreliable narrator, I am choosing The Dark Place. I'll quickly read the synopsis. 17-year-old Haley Williams didn't ask to disappear. She didn't ask to move from Kansas City, Kansas to the suburbs of Missouri, but she did disappear. And not only that, when she vanished from our world, materialized in a dark, twisted version of night that changed her life forever. The night of her older brother going missing. Just as Haley realized this moment could offer a chance to unveil the truth about her brother, she is yanked away from the dark place back into our world. Craving a sense of normalcy, she goes to a party with her best friend. She meets Elam Rhodes, tall, handsome, and undeniably inexplicable familiar. Haley can't help the pull she feels towards him. It's a classic girl meets boy situation until it happens again. She disappears right in front of him. And so I chose this one because she's telling us what's happening in the present rather than what's actually going on. And I just have a feeling that what we read is not going to, at the end, it's not going to be what we are experiencing through the book. Like there's a whole plot twist to it. Maybe she is disappearing, but maybe her spirit is disappearing somewhere else. I don't know. But I chose this for unreliable narrator. I also chose this for a book with time jumps. So I doubled up on prompts for this one. And so those are going to be the 2 prompts that I use for this. The next prompt is going to be author outside of the US. I chose The Library of the Dead. I started this. It's okay. She becomes a ghost stalker, and she is speaking to the dead in Edinburgh. Right now, she's kind of banishing them. She's speaking to them, translating any messages that need to be translated, and then she is like, okay, now it's time for you to go, type of thing. I'm not that far into it. So it says, a girl's got to earn a living. It seems harmless until, that is, the dead begins to whisper some bewitching, that someone is bewitching the children, leaving them husk, empty joy of life. In Ropa City, she feels honor bound and to investigate, but what she learns will change her world. Like I said, it's okay. It's not the best. I was really hoping for some more like things to it, but it is a mystery. So a mystery book from my understanding. So The Dark Place has 3 prompts that I've doubled up on. Unreliable narrator, traveling, and a book with time jumps. Then I have the author outside of the US. The free space that I chose is going to be Rogue Justice. This is the sequel to the Avery King series, and I really enjoyed the first one. The first one was about Avery King, who was an associate who worked for the Justice, and she didn't have really a connection with him, but the Justice ends up going into a coma, and come to find out she is his guardian or power of attorney while he is under a coma. So she is having to care and make decisions. So Avery teams up with the Justice's son to investigate what he was investigating before he was in the coma, to see if there was any foul play and why he's in the coma. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 3.5 or 4 star. It was really good. I wasn't expecting that with Stacey Abrams, but I'm gonna support her no matter what, okay? Now for the Black Classic, I know that we can do this one time. I am going to double up on prompts, which is the Guild of Stories by Joelle Gomez. But I know that you can only cross over locations one time. The whole time. So I won't be able to do it next year, but I'm going to do it this year because I don't read a lot of classics for the most part. I am reading Zora, but I mean, like, I don't read a lot of historical crime books. So this will be it. I will be crossing over. Again, this is set in the 1850s, so that will be my crossover between locations. I have 6 prompts for Laissez-Faire, and I have 6 prompts for Ruby's Crew Park, and then 5 prompts for Joe's Library, which puts me at Investigator Thrill for all 3 locations. This is quite a bit, but I read a lot, so I know I can do it. So this is my stack. Some of the other books I will be getting from my library, or I have them on ebook. I really hope that you guys join us. There's sprints almost every single day. Please follow Blackoween on Instagram. Bre from Lockbooktician, the creator of Blackoween. Her information would be down below, as well as the link to the video that will go over more of the rules. So I look forward to reading with you guys and hearing about your guys' experience. If you are reading any of these books, please let me know. I look forward to October. It's going to be a fun time, okay? This is going to be so much fun. Like I said, there's sprints almost every single day. There's a ton of things going on Instagram and TikTok as well. So don't forget to share and spread the love. Bre Bre deserves all the accolades, okay, for hosting this for the 4th year. But that is it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!